But what's one thing you should not say to somebody who has autism?
Oh gosh, do I have to just pick one? We were talking about this earlier. But he looks normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you looked normal too, right before you said that.
Yeah. I hate that one. I hate the one, you have autism, you don't look like you have autism. That's the typical one for me.
Yeah, and I don't understand, what does that look like?
Heather, when was Nathan diagnosed?
He was 3 years old. I think he might have been 4 when he got the technic, but yeah, so between 3 and 4 years old.
Nice. And what are some of Nathan's main obstacles and strengths today?
Well, I know he knows what we're saying. I believe he understands that you're asking questions. I think his issue is being able to tell us with words what he wants. He can tell us with his actions, and he can tell us by sometimes his behaviors. That's his main struggle, and he gets frustrated, as I would get frustrated as well if I couldn't, let you know quite easily what I'm trying to convey. But he's happy. He's kind. I think
he's good looking.
He has great hair.
And is soccer your favorite sport?
You like balls? It's a soccer ball, but he's been dribbling it. 5 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was like pulling teeth. And Bailey had all these flashcards, and she put all these flashcards, and I remember we would go to the public library in New Albany, which is a couple hours away from us. Now she comes to Grenada, which is awesome. But at that time we were traveling, and we were at that library, and Bailey put all the cards down, and she said, "Look at this, Heather." And she would tell him, "Show me, tell me." And he accurately, and I know that's labeling, but he was able to say what each flashcard was. And it was the first time I'd ever really heard him say more than just, and it was huge. I was like, oh, we need more. We need more of this. And of course I worried that, well, is he memorizing? And then she'd switch him up and put him in different places. And I'm like, no, he knows these things.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, so I did the whole typical mom of a kid with autism dance where I Googled everything a million times.
What would you say has been the thing that's helped him the most growing up with autism? Obviously, ABA therapy seems to have worked.
Really. Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Having one of my daughters here, I have two other children. They're both girls. I have a 20-year-old and a 12-year-old, and Lila Kate. That has helped. There's his dad. Lila Kate has helped a lot. Having another child in the house with friends that enjoy Nathan and that play with him and having that interaction, that has been huge. And now music. I feel like music, we can use this music thing to our advantage. I feel like some music therapy, something like that. We're always learning. We're always trying to find new ways to teach Nathan and let Nathan teach us. Oh, I guess you won't.
I'm obsessed with music therapy. My parents got me hooked onto music therapy when I was 4, when I was just diagnosed with autism, and it worked tremendously, especially with a lot of my sensory challenges. What would you say has been one of Nathan's greatest accomplishments up to this point in his life?
Oh my gosh. He's very intuitive. I don't want to shortchange you, Nathan, but what you did with the dogs is super fabulous. Okay, I don't have the proof of it right now because it's torn down because we're getting a pool. But we had this 2-story playhouse. It's a slide, the typical little loft up at the top, and it was super cute with a ladder. Okay, a ladder that goes straight up. He taught all 3 of our dogs how to climb that ladder and get up in that doghouse. And yeah, you did that. And one of them was a Great Dane, so huge. I looked out the door. We didn't know he had done that. And I see a Great Dane climbing up a ladder like Scooby-Doo, okay? And there's Nathan up there. He had gotten some chips, and he just used them. And we're talking like an afternoon, Kerry, just of the dogs, teaching them. So the dogs were hanging out up there, and then sometimes they go down the slide. Most of the time, they walk back down the ladder. That's interesting. Right.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
Nathan,
But,
do you like dogs? Yeah.
He's doing his thumbs up. Say yes. Yes. Say yes.
I think Nathan's a precious child. I am so proud of him for his independence and his just little personality that's coming out. Like, he has an opinion and he can let you know what it is. And I'm just proud of him for being able to come out and really interact with us in an appropriate way.
If you could be president for the day, what would you like to see? What would you like to do in that position to support people who are impacted by a diagnosis?
Well, the first thing I would have to take advantage of is to get the Equal Rights Amendment passed or some sort of movement on that, because that's very important to me. And then I would probably rewrite everything. I don't know if I'd have to rewrite IDEA or just the implementation of it, but I would probably change a lot of the laws that require as little as possible to as much as possible, like it should be. I would review a lot of the different cases, like Andrew versus, was it Douglas in the Colorado? The
I believe so. Yeah.
I would look into that and make sure there weren't any other ones that were falling through the cracks. Make sure that ABA therapy was mandatory. Change the school lunch program because they feed the kids garbage. Let's see. I have a list. I have a Google Doc.
I was about to say, you've thought about this.
Give me 8 hours. I can make the world a better place. Seriously.
I was like, you've definitely thought about this.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, those are the things that need to happen. I mean, the fact that our schools are getting by on, well, legally all we have to do is as little as possible. Are you freaking kidding me? That doesn't fly in any other job. Who else is like, yep, little as possible? That's me. If I can fund it, that's not okay.
Hey, I'd vote for you. I'd vote for you right now. So what's
the job? But I want that opportunity, but not the job.
So what's next for you and your family? Do you have any personal things, not personal, but any professional things going on with the blog? Anything coming up?
Well, yes, I'm finishing up a book about how I navigated the keto diet and lost 140 pounds. And then I want to do more with Nathan. I really want to, if I'm just being honest, I really want to figure out an alternate way of educating him, another school system, another type of thing. Because we have an option for private and we have an option for public, and there's neither one of those is really the best for him. And I would just like to see what I could do. If I could get Bailey here, I feel like I could, if I don't try, me not trying to do something different for Nathan's school is like me phoning it in, and I don't do that. So finish the diet thing, the book, and that's great. But then I think this is the work that matters.
Absolutely.
A little bit. I think your health is important, but he's my son. So he's hungry. Yeah. I made low carb biscuits, so he's in luck.
Nice. Is there anything else you would like for people at home to know about your story?
I just, if I could go back and talk to who I was when Nathan was first diagnosed, so that was several years ago, I would say find a support system, and you don't have to learn everything all at one time. Don't feel like an imposter. Don't feel like you have to go do a crash course prep thing before an IEP and then feel like a failure. You can advocate for your child one step at a time, one piece at a time. and filter what you put in your mind. Don't hop on Facebook groups and believe things and let people bring you down.
Everyone, Kerry Magro here from A Special Community. I can't thank you enough for watching this video, and if you like this video, please click on some more videos around our YouTube page. We are just trying to give a voice to countless people in our neurodiverse community, so please, if you can, subscribe to our video page, and then you'll also get to see a little bit more about my story from nonverbal autism to today being a professional speaker. Thanks so much, y'all.